Not mine, Ducky.
Oh, Lord, I thought
Not my style, really.
No, no, of course it isn't.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, nothing. I mean, I'm sorry, I just
Anyway, I like leather. Have we met somewhere? Your face looks familiar.
No, no, we haven't met. Look, what on earth am I going to do with this jacket?
Put it back where you found it, Ducky. Must fly, I'll be late for work. Bye, then.
Oh, damn it. Lost
E12 with London.
You're going to be late for work?
I am supposed to be my own boss, you know.
Smart jacket. I haven't seen that before, have I? Belong to one of your gentlemen friends, does it?
Actually, I found it.
You found it?
Yes. Lying all by itself by a bench in the park.
You should have left it where it was.
You're the second person to say that.
So whosoever had lost it didn't know where to find it.
I'm afraid it would have been stolen.
Yes, well, somebody has stolen it, haven't they? Have you been through the pockets?
Yes, I've been through the pockets. The jacket is of continental make, probably French. It contains practically nothing. Handkerchief, comb, book of matches from l'Aubergine Restaurant Français. Good taste, that. C'est tout. I'm sure that whoever's lost it must be missing it by now. Naturally, of course, I shall take it to the police station, Sava. Mrs. B, will you not keep moving my things?
Sure, you are going to be late for work.
Jemima Shaw's office. Speaking. Well, thanks, Val, but that's fantastic. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Mrs. Robertson rang.
Uh-huh.
She thought you might like to do a programme on depression.
Oh, yes, well, that's typical Becky, isn't it? I mean, we've done deprived people, neglected people, lonely people, battered wives, battered husbands, and she wants me to do a programme on depression. Well, I think I'm going to leave social issues for a bit. Do something self-indulgent for a change, like a programme on books.
Books?
Yes, bookshops, book fairs, libraries, second-hand books. We can do some research at old Mr. Muller's. I thought you shared my views on pollution of the atmosphere.
Oh, I do. Well, I've got to have something, though. I'm so hungry.
Just have a proper breakfast. Start the day on an egg.
I did. I started on 2 eggs. 4 sausages, toast. But I'm still starving.
I'll have a cigarette then, anything for a quiet life.
Oh, I've left my lighter at home.
Sorry, can't help you there. Oh, Cherry, wait a minute. Here you are. Courtesy of l'Aubergine Restaurant Français.
Thanks.
Friend of yours?
What? Let me see that for a minute. Mr. Fox, 246-8091. Look, just get me that number, would you, Cherry?
Sure.
Want a cup of coffee?
Please.
Oh, thank you, yes. Would you put them with the others, please?
Oh, just a minute. Waldorf Hotel.
Ask for Mr. Fox.
Can you put me through to Mr. Fox, please?
That will be all. Thank you very much.
Hello? Oh, just a minute. They've never heard of Mr. Fox.
Oh. All right, forget it.
I'm sorry, I must have the wrong number.
What
What's all this about?
I don't know, really.
Another new jacket.
I'll tell you about it over lunch. I thought we might go to l'Aubergine.
Terrific.
But that won't be for at least another hour and a half, so let's get on with some work, shall we? Anyway, that's the story of my early morning jog and why I'm walking around with that jacket.
Well, I think you should have left it where it was.
If anyone else says that, I shall scream. It just seemed a pity to make a present of it to a couple of rockers.
Well, rockers would have seemed dead in a jacket like that. Anyway, why worry? Why don't you just drop it into the police station?
In view of the matches, I just thought that Pierre might know who it belonged to.
Well, he didn't say anything when he hung it up.
No, well, he's discreet, isn't he? He's not a French waiter for nothing. Pierre.
Mademoiselle.
That, tweed jacket over there, the one you hung up for me.
Exactement.
No, I don't want you to fetch it. I just thought you mightn't have recognized it.
Oui. It is yours, is it not?
No, with me, but not actually mine. I thought you might recall having seen it on one of your male customers.
I do not think so.
Uh-huh. Do you have a customer by the name of Mr. Fox, perhaps?
No. I'm very sorry.
Oh, well, it's not important. Forget it.
Would you care to have a dessert, ladies?
Not for me, thank you, no.
Oh, yes, a piece of strawberry flan, please.
And, coffee for both of us, please, Pierre.
You know, that jacket probably doesn't even belong to this Mr. Fox, anyway. I mean, he'd hardly put his own name and number on a book of matches.
That point had not escaped me, my sleuthful little cherry.
Monsieur Grand, quel plaisir.
The pleasure is all mine, dear boy. Thank you.
Oh, look, there's a friend of yours arriving.
Jamie!
Jemima, my dear. How delightful.
You've, met my PA Cherry, of course, haven't you?
I have indeed. How are you, my dear?
Oh, very well, thank you. Well, too fat, of course, according to Jemima. But really, I'm rather well.
Too fat, my dear young lady. You mustn't pay heed to the wicked witch here. To me, you're as delectable as...
Strawberry flan.
And infinitely more sustaining, I hope. May I join you two delightful young ladies?
Yes, you could join me. Cherry's going back to the office.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Oh, what a pity. I should have enjoyed the two of you.
Well, Jamie, one of us has got to work.
I'll see you back there, then. Goodbye, Mr. Grant.
Goodbye, my dear.
Thanks.
A dutiful young girl. And shapely with it. Ah. Yes, the poisson, I think, and my usual wine.
Oui, monsieur.
Well, Jemima, you look as beautiful as always. But a little mysterious. But I shall not presume to ask what you're being mysterious about.
Thank you very much. Now, how is the literary world, Jamie?
Oh, quite exciting. One or two very interesting new authors. Unlike the theatre, not so exciting.
Yes, I gathered that. Read your review this morning. Did you have to give them such a slating? You know, I think some of you geriatric critics ought to be pensioned off. You're all so jaded. Half of you don't want to be in the theatre at all. You'd rather be sitting at home in your armchairs with your slippers on.
In that case, perhaps I shall start reviewing television.
God forbid, some of us would never work again.
Would you like a glass of my wine?
No, thank you, Jamie. I've quite enough already. I might just fall asleep at the table.
You're not going.
Yes.
Oh, dear. I'd hoped I might persuade you to spend the afternoon with a lonely bachelor.
Lonely, Jamie? You have a host of friends.
Sycophants, my dear. Sycophants, spongers, and hangers-on.
Really? I've no idea. Well, I'm terribly sorry for you, but I'm going to love you and leave you all the same. Enjoy your fish. Looks quite delicious. Be in touch with you about those new authors.
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you very much.
No, I don't think I'll wear it, Pierre. Not actually mine, you know.
Pardon. I hope you find your Monsieur Renard, Mademoiselle Jemima.
Monsieur Renard? Oh, of course. Fox in French. Thank you, Pierre. Bye, Jamie. Monsieur Renard.
room 213, please. There's no reply from his room, madam, but he is in the hotel. Shall I page him for you?
Oh, thank you very much.
Monsieur Reynard, wanted in reception, please. Monsieur Reynard, wanted in reception, please. Monsieur Reynard.
Madame. Ah, Monsieur Renard.
C'est moi?
Do you speak English?
Perfectly well.
Oh, good. My French has got a bit rusty. I'm Jemima Shaw, and we haven't met, but
Miss Shaw?
Yes?
Could I have your autograph, please?
Oh, yes, okay.
Thanks very much, miss.
Oh, you're famous. Film star, perhaps?
Nothing like that, no. To get back to what I was saying, I'm trying to trace the owner of this jacket.
Oh. That's very chic. Somebody has lost it?
Well, yes, I thought perhaps.
Thought it might be me.
Well, no,
Well, you know, that's very kind of you, but, well, as you see, I have a jacket.
Oh, yes, quite, but I thought you might know who it belonged to.
Why should I?
Well, it's continental. And the fact is, there's a book of matches in the pocket with the number of this hotel and your name on it.
Yes, but, my name is not Fox.
It is in English.
No, forgive me. It's rather funny, you know.
Yes, it's very funny. I've obviously made a quite ridiculous mistake. I'm sorry I troubled you.
Wait a moment.
You're not leaving. Why don't we go into the lounge and talk about it? No, we could have some tea, perhaps.
I'm just about fed up with this wretched jacket. I should have taken it to the police station in the first place.
Well, you know, I'm very glad that you did not. Otherwise, I would not have had the pleasure.
Je suis fou.
Folle.
Oh, yes, of course, folle, feminine. Should have known that. Did you ever see that film, Pierrot le Fou? I loved that.
Oh, yes, it was excellent. You know, I like this extraordinary room. It's romantic.
Good Lord, I can't eat cake. It's not all that long since I had lunch.
Oh, it does not matter.
Thank you. Shall I pour? Yes, matter of fact, I had lunch where those matches came from. L'Aubergine, do you know it?
L'Aubergine. Yes, it's in West 11, isn't it?
That's right. Milk?
No. Just a slice of lemon. Yes, I've eaten at L'Aubergine, but you know, in England, I prefer to eat your roast beef, your fish with chips, and so on.
Quite right. Eat British. Oh, yes, all right. Just one sandwich and no dinner tonight. You from Paris?
Originally, no, but, well, I'm living there quite a number of years now.
You're on business?
That's right. Homme d'affaires. What I think you English call a business consultant.
Personally speaking, I've always found the term somewhat ambiguous.
No, not really. If, for example, an English businessman wishes to invest in French commerce, then I can advise him.
Really that simple? More tea?
Thank you. And you? Surely that man did not ask the autograph of an office worker.
As it happens, that's sometimes what I think I am. Actually, I do a program on TV.
Ah, what about?
Oh, social issues, food, fashion, the arts, anything really.
Lost property also?
Well, back to that jacket again.
There was no wallet in the jacket? No papers of identification?
No, not when I found it, anyway.
Then certainly, you know, I think it would be prudent to take it to the police.
I can assure you that is exactly where I'm going when I leave here. The whole thing's turned out to be a dratted nuisance.
I am a dratted nuisance?
Not what I meant at all.
Then may I be permitted to ask you to dance?
Why not? Never danced with a French fox before.
And what do you think?
I think he's a remarkably good dancer.
He's also a remarkably cunning fellow, with very sharp teeth.
Is that a fact? Never mind. I like to live dangerously.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Cherry, isn't it? Jemima's PA?
Yeah, that's right.
I thought it was. Although it's so dazzling in here, it's hard to tell who anybody is. Mind you, I like that, particularly after the kind of day I've had. I'll have a glass of your champagne. Something for you?
Oh, no, I'm all right, thanks, Lady Miranda.
Where is Jemima?
I haven't seen her since lunch.
Oh, she's so high-powered these days, isn't she? Dashing here, there, and everywhere. Of course, she's a workaholic, like myself. One has to be the flibbity-gibbet girls one gets nowadays. Any excuse for not turning up. Oh, of course, you're not like that. Jemima's so lucky to have a reliable assistant.
Well, I like my work. Hey, Jemima.
Hello, darling.
Miranda, how are you?
Oh, quite exhausted. You look positively glowing.
Do I? How's Rupert?
In the country. He's got a new filly. Of the equine variety, I hasten to add. Have a drink.
Yes, I have a glass of Sauterne.
On my account, please.
Sorry I didn't get back. Shall we all sit at a table?
So what have you been busy at this afternoon?
Well, if you really want to know, I went to a tea dance.
Oh, well, well. Stomping at the Savoy, were you?
Waldorf, actually.
The Waldorf?
Yes, with a very charming Frenchman.
Oh, la la. I thought you looked rather flushed when you came in. Why didn't you invite him here to have a drink?
What, with those widow spiders about? They'd eat him up.
Anyway, leaving amours on one side, when are you coming to see my new collection? Both of you.
We shall come at our earliest possible opportunity, won't we, Cherry?
Well, anyway, darlings, I shall expect you both. Must fly now.
Bye. Thanks for the drink.
So, tell me, Jemima Shaw investigator, what were you really doing before you came here?
Nothing very interesting. I took that lost jacket to the local police station where a rather bored PC took my name and address.
No, I meant at the hotel.
Oh, I was fox hunting.
Yeah, but he wasn't there.
Oh, but he was. I flushed him out.
What, a French fox?
Exactement. Let's, have another drink, shall we?
Miss Jemima Shaw!
I mustn't stop.
Can I have your autograph, please?
Oh, not now, honestly.
On the way back, if you're still here. Okay. George, come here, George! 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 George!
right, I promised. What's the matter?
I've lost George.
George? Oh, your dog?
Yes, miss.
Dogs are supposed to be kept on their lead in this park, you know, because of the wildlife. Haven't you seen the notice? All right, come on, I'll help you look for him. Keep calling him.
George! George! George!
Probably saw a rabbit.
George! He's there, miss, look! I can see his tail! Here, boy, here! Come out of there!
Can't you get him?
He's worrying at something. Come out, George. He's found a shoe. Drop it.
Hold the dog, stand back.
Well, there's no doubt about it being a case of murder.
No, I didn't think there could be. I mean, he could hardly have strangled himself.
Garrotted, to be precise.
Ooh. Have you any idea who he was?
No idea at all so far.
How long had he been dead?
About 24 hours, according to the police surgeon.
Ah, so in that case, the victim could have been the man I told the sergeant about earlier, even though I can't actually identify him. The man asleep on the bench. Asleep or already dead.
Perfectly possible.
And this jacket I found?
Oh, we collected that from the Grove police station. According to the lab report, the hairs on the collar tally with those on the deceased's head.
I had any idea that jacket was connected with a murder. If that was the victim, where was the murderer? He must have been there to have dragged his victim into the shrubbery.
He was there, all right.
Well, why didn't I see him?
Were you looking?
Well, no, I wasn't.
Oh, he was there, all right. In the shrubbery, behind the trees. You disturbed him, you see.
Anyone could have disturbed him. How he had the nerve to garrote a person in broad daylight beats me.
Well, some people get their kicks out of taking risks. Having garroted his victim, the murderer sees someone in the distance, Miss Jemima Shaw, on her early morning jog. He pushes the body into a horizontal position on the bench, leaving the jacket almost over his head. Then he hides, because he has every intention of putting the body into the shrubbery when you've gone. Thank you, Sergeant.
And having done that, he then forgets the victim's jacket. Surely that was rather careless.
Careless or deliberate. If someone stole it, it could cause confusion later on. Now, the boy and the dog. Well, we can rule them out. On your return jog, you see a man in the vicinity, ostensibly on his way to work. You've given us a very good identikit of him. Could he have been the murderer?
Suppose he could.
And the two yobbos?
Well, they just happened out of nowhere. But if they'd done it, surely they wouldn't have hung around.
Let's hope these people come forward when they read about it in the papers.
Yeah. Papers. Oh, Lord. Expect the press will be on the doorstep. Look, I really think I ought to get back to work.
Oh, of course, Mr. Shaw.
Hello, Mr. Muller.
Oh, hello, Sherry. How's Jemima?
Well, she's supposed to be meeting me. We're getting some background on a new programme, and she suggested we start in here.
In here?
Well, it's on books, Mr. Muller. Yeah, and what sort of people buy them?
In my shop, they come from all walks of life.
But do they all buy?
Of course they do.
All of them? I mean, surely you must get some browsers.
The man who browses today may buy tomorrow.
Well, would you mind if I talk to some of your browsers?
Of course, delighted. Excuse me.
Can I ask you what kind of book you're looking for?
No, I'm looking for something botanical. I have a small garden, you see. Are you green-fingered, my dear?
Oh, no. Blue's more like it, I'm afraid.
Right, so now you're looking for a gardening book.
Mm.
But what kind of books do you actually like reading?
Well, I'm passionately keen on books about the army.
Oh, really? Right, thanks.
Hi. Can I ask you what sort of books you like reading?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, do you like fantasy fiction, like Tolkien, for instance?
Oh, sorry, Cherry. Came straight from the police station. Mr. Muller. Oh, dear, what a day. How are you?
Oh, yes, I do. I've got all these books at home, and I like science fiction now.
Oh, any particular author?
Philip
K. Dick. Yeah, he's smashing. Right, thanks very much.
Can I ask you what kind of book you're looking for, sir?
Me, Ducky. I like a good thriller.
Oh, what, Raymond Chandler, Dashiell Hammett?
I think I've got one here.
Or are you quite happy with a run-of-the-mill whodunit?
Any good murder suits me, Ducky.
Listen, follow that man you were just talking to. Don't let him see you. I'll meet you later in the wine bar. Go on.
Oh.
Police station? That's what I said. You mean he went in the police station?
Yeah, right in. Up the steps, through the glass doors and inside. And then I saw him talking to the man at the desk. But I didn't go in, of course. But who is he?
I think I'll just have a word with Superintendent Tree.
Oh, anything you say. I'm having a rest. Excuse me.
Right. The man you followed was the man I talked to in the park yesterday. Whose jacket I thought it was. His name's Mickey Martin. He resides in a bedsitter in Addison Road. He's a keep fit fanatic who walks to work through the park every day to his job as maintenance man. Believe it or not, those rockers have also offered to help the police. They belong to a rock group called the Don't You Knows. Do you know them?
No.
And on the morning in question, they'd just been to an all-night party at a mate's house in the vicinity.
So that leaves us with person or persons unknown, does it?
So it would seem.
Did you mention Monsieur Renard to Superintendent Tree?
No. Should I have?
Well, I don't know. But you did say it was a bit odd.
It was. It is sort of odd that a man called Fox isn't staying at the Waldorf and a man called Renard is. Then life's full of little coincidences that don't really mean anything, isn't it?
Well, if he were somehow suspect.
Well, then he almost certainly won't show up for dinner, will he?
Well, you'll have dinner with the French Fox.
No. The French Fox is having dinner with me, which means I had better get my skates on.
Oh, what are you cooking?
Steak and kidney pie.
Terrific. He must be very attractive.
Oh, he is. Il est ravissant. I know. Soda?
Thank you.
Say when.
Enough?
So, how is your hotel?
All the same.
How long will you be staying there?
I don't know. It depends on my business. It's wonderful, you know, Don Giovanni. I heard a marvelous performance of it last year in Paris.
It's my favourite opera.
If you come to Paris, you must come to the opera with me.
You're not married then, Renard.
To my work, as you are.
Goodness, I need to see how things are in the kitchen.
Oh, can I help you?
Certainly not. You stay where you are, relax in your chair. Look at the paper.
Oh, I've seen that. I bought the early edition.
Oh, well,
Yes. I saw your photograph, and I read about the body you discovered. It must have been quite a shock for you.
Yes, it was. Quite a shock. Especially at that hour of the morning.
Let me help you, please.
Well, would you open the wine for me, please?
Well, I really must compliment you once again on that superb steak and kidney.
English food can be all right, can't it?
I've always thought so, but, well, you've confirmed it.
Good.
I noticed that the discovery you made this morning did not seem to affect your appetite.
Well, it did at the time. But this evening I felt enormously hungry. Reassurance, I suppose, that life goes on in spite of all these horrible things.
Yes, it's a curious murder, this, you know. In an English park. The police do not know who is the victim.
Nobody seems to have missed him.
And the persons who are helping the police, they are suspects?
Well, not anymore. Since they voluntarily showed up at the police station, they're not really any more suspect than I am. A couple of rockers getting a bit of air after an all-night party, and a chap called Mickey Martin on his regular walk to work.
What did he look like, this Mickey Martin?
Pretty commonplace, really. 35-ish, 5'10", square-shouldered, thinning on top. Why do you ask?
Curiosity. Was he English?
Well, he didn't look it, actually, but from his speech, I'd say that he'd been here quite some time. Would you like some of this?
Oh, thank you.
Are you all right?
Yes, yes. It's a beautiful evening, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Just admiring your view. All those little lights twinkling away over London.
Blast. Phone. I think I'd better answer it if you'll excuse me. Hello?
It's me, Cherry.
Yeah?
Did Monsieur Renard turn up?
Yes, I've just finished a lovely dinner.
Well, look, this may sound a bit silly, but I was worried about you.
Good grief, I think I'm quite old enough to take care of myself.
No, I rang the Waldorf.
But what on earth for?
Well, just to see if he was still staying there. And he checked out this afternoon, quite suddenly, apparently, which means he might have read about the body being discovered and decided to... Look, has he mentioned having checked out? Ah, he hasn't. Right, I think you ought to ring Superintendent Tree. You phone him tonight.
Jem? Oh, Jemima, please, he might be a suspect.
Yes. All right, I will. But please don't worry any more.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Please help yourself. Won't be a minute.
Do not call anyone, please, Jemima.
How dare you? You're going to give me that key
I'll
back.
give you back the key, Jemima. But first, I would like to relate to you a little histoire. Will you listen?
I don't seem to have much choice, do I? Since you brought my drink in here, perhaps you'd hand it to me.
Of course.
Thank you. Well?
It's about the body you discovered. Was this the victim?
Yes, I would say that it was. Of course, his expression wasn't quite the same, but then he'd been strangled, hadn't he?
He was a friend of mine. Somebody I'd worked with. It was his jacket that you brought to the hotel yesterday.
Well, why on earth didn't you say so?
Because until this afternoon, I didn't know what had happened to him. Although I suspected, of course, when he didn't phone me as he arranged.
So Fox did mean Renard.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know who killed your friend?
I know very well.
It was the man I described to you, wasn't it? Mickey Martin, the man I met in the park. Why don't you go to the police?
Because I do not wish to be involved.
But you are involved. It's your friend that's been murdered. Do you know why?
My friend was not French, any more than I am. We are what I think you term dissidents in exile. From one of those little countries about which the English and the French do not concern themselves overmuch. Except for the occasional reportage when one of us mysteriously disappears or meets with a mysterious accident.
Your friend was killed because he was a political dissident?
Because he wrote articles of a subversive nature to the present regime. Clandestine publications which were distributed in our country of origin. He was found out.
May I get up, please?
Yes.
Look, I think we can dispense with all this nonsense, can't we? I mean, I'm really not going to call anybody. Renard, you must go to the police. You must tell them who the victim was and why he was killed.
No, it's not important that the police know. I know. That's what matters. Eventually, of course, the police will find out. It will take some time. My friend lived in a small anonymous flat, in a large anonymous block, like a small anonymous grey mouse. His luck ran out. After the articles, they were determined to track him down.
And what about your luck?
I'm something of a fatalist, you know.
Will you go back to France, Renard? Of course, that can't possibly be your name any more than Fox is.
C'est Sophie. And I've grown quite fond of it. Especially when you say it. But in answer to your question, yes, of course, I must go back to France. I leave tomorrow morning.
So where will you stay tonight? And don't say the Waldorf, because I know better.
Of course you do. You're a very clever investigator, Mademoiselle Shaw.
That was my assistant, actually. So where are you going to stay?
With you, Jemima.
I see. Well, the cards appear to be stacked in your favour, don't they, since you have the bedroom key in your pocket. And since it appears I have no option in the matter, I shall go to bed.
Voila. Now you have all the option that you need.
I didn't expect you to do that, somehow. It seems that you trust me.
Seems I do. But of course, if you give me any trouble, I shall kill you.
I'm far too sleepy to give you any trouble, Renard. Make yourself at home on the couch.
I'd rather make myself at home in your bed, Jemima.
In that case, why don't you kiss me, French fox? Renard.
Morning.
Oh. Gosh, I've overslept. Methinks somebody spiked my drink. This is very kind of you, Mrs. B.
I thought I would, seeing as what happened to you yesterday. It's all in my morning paper. I don't know about yours.
It was in last night's paper, Mrs. B.
Oh, isn't it dreadful? Of course, I never set foot in the park now. Not since I heard a fox got in there. Came along the railway line at Olympia. And now it's murderers. Well, if you've got everything you want, I'll leave you alone to read your correspondence.
Thank you very much, Mrs. B.
If you come sometime to Paris, take a coffee at La Frisbee in Saint-Germain. I will find you.
Find you.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. This area's closed off.
What?
Well, there's been an accident.
Well, I'm a friend of Superintendent Tree. Do you think I could have a word with him for a minute?
Just a minute, miss. Well, Miss Shaw, is it?
Oh, that's all right. Let it
Well, it's all right, Miss Shaw.
Hello, Miss Shaw.
Morning.
You recognize him?
Mickey Martin. The fox rises early.
What's that, my dear?
How about retribution?
An interesting possibility. Vendetta, perhaps?
I don't think I'm going to be much help to you on this one.
Thank you very much. Jemima, my dear.
Hello, Jamie.
All by yourself? Where's that charming assistant?
In the office, I hope. I've taken the day off.
In that case, may I presume to share your table?
Yes, feel free.
Thank you.
Sorry, that was not exactly gracious of me. I'm afraid I'm not very amusing company this morning.
It's of little importance, my dear. I enjoy looking at you.
I can't imagine why.
You're so beautiful.
Nonsense, Jamie. I'm nothing of the kind. I shall probably never be anything more than a boring old TV investigator, forever poking her nose into other people's business, never even beginning to have a life of my own.
Oh, now, all this introspection must be that macabre happening in the park. I read about it.
Happenings, Jamie, happenings. There was another one this morning.
Oh, dear, really? An escaped lunatic, perhaps?
No, nothing like that, nothing random, all carefully thought out.
Political?
Yeah.
Are we looking for one murderer or two?
That is a very good question, Jamie, and one to which we don't know the answer. One man murders another in a park and then gets murdered himself by a third man. Good, we say, poetic justice. And what better if the third man, who's a delightful fellow, gets away with it? Nice, romantic ending. Hmm?
Yes, thank you.
But what if the third man is not quite as delightful as he seems? What if he did both the murders? What then?
An interesting denouement, of course, but not so pleasant.
Exactly.
And which theory do you favour, my dear?
Oh, the first one, of course. I may look like a tough nut, Jamie, but I'm really very romantic.
That is one of the reasons I find you so bewitching. Now, I think we'll share another bottle of your favourite Sancerre, and then perhaps, Wicked Witch, we could spend the afternoon together.
There's nothing I'd like better, Jamie, than to spend the afternoon with an old friend like you. The trouble is, I have this sudden, mad impulse to catch a plane to Paris.
Oh.
What do you think?
Well, one should never resist one's impulses. Besides, it'll do you good. A trip to Paris. It'll take your mind off all this murder.
Yes, you know, Jamie, you could just be wrong about that. Cheers. Vive la France.